For years, Scrabble playing programs have been trying to eclipse human players, with little success. While programs like Maven and Quackle were extremely strong players with perfect word knowledge and decent strategy, very best human players still had the upper hand. However, this recently seems to have changed, with the bot from Woogles, BestBot.
So about 10 years ago or so, I wanted to write my own Scrabble AI. So I started writing one. It's called Macondo, after the fictional town in 100 Years of Solitude. It took me a long time, but actually myself and Jesse Day helped a lot. He was able to generate leaf values are better than Quackle's. And I wrote the programming for doing the Monte Carlo simulations, pre-endgame and endgame solving. We released it into Woogles. It's called BestBot. So I'm confident that BestBot can beat the vast majority of top human players. If you were to do 100 games or more, I think it'll be tough to beat it.
Over the last year, numerous strong players have played BestBot, and not only has BestBot defeated many of Scrabble's best, it hasn't honestly been close. So I tried my hand to beat BestBot. Years ago, I tried to play AI's previous champion, Quackle's championship player. And while I lost, the series was close and competitive. While I fared slightly better than others, by the end of the series, it was clear that I too had been vanquished by the AI overlord. BestBot's biggest advantage is its sheer consistency and its ability to never play a phony or miss a bingo. As a human, I had a series of unfortunate word knowledge mistakes, playing words such as blue ear, cadgiest, stonings, and fluey. These types of word knowledge mistakes might be avoidable in the short run, but over 100 games, these plays are a different story, especially when you're desperate and need things to happen. For example, in this position, I played the phony ingester, even though I strongly suspected it wasn't a word, because I felt it was very unlikely that I would win otherwise. Likewise, in this position, I played the word baffy, because at this score, I felt that the other options such as byface were simply not going to win the game. Similarly, when you're ahead as a human, you're likely to chicken out of words to avoid making a big blunder. For example, here I opted out of the word algometer, which I was pretty sure was valid because of the safer play of triangle, scoring only 8 fewer points. In addition to playing phonies, I also missed my share of star plays. Some of these plays were likely to be inconsequential. For example, here I played the word oxes, missing the word xenia, but since I was very far behind, I probably would have lost anyway. In this position I played the word my, missing the word famuli, but managed to walk away with a win anyway. However, some of these plays directly led to losses. For example, here I played the word quail, but my miss of the better word sequela not only would have scored 36 more points, but also would have set my X up for a likely 50-point score next turn, parallel to the SE of sequela. In this position, I played the word onyx, keeping a strong NS blank leave, nearly tying up the score. However, on closer inspection, you'll notice that there really isn't anywhere good on this board to play a bingo. And sure enough, I never did get to play a bingo. Instead, playing the word Saxony, taking a 30-point lead, would have put me in a strong position to most likely come away with a win. In this loss, I played the word Blair, paralleling 5 words scoring over 30 points, and keeping the board closed, but keeping G, Y, not particularly strong tiles. Instead, I needed to spot the word beggarly, not only scoring 35 more points, but also clearing the G and Y off my rack. Doing so would have almost certainly resulted in yet another win. And of course, the most glaring of mistakes, where I just completely resigned myself to a loss by playing SUQ, where I actually have a very easy win by just spotting the word queso in the same location, scoring over 75 points. Of course, BestBot would make none of these errors, and that is primarily the reason it ended up on top. In addition, it has small advantages that add up between its perfect endgame solving and pre-endgame solving, and a more precise understanding of leaf values than me, or literally any human. These advantages, combined with my mistakes, were the difference that led to a decisive victory, and probably too much for any human to handle. After all, It's nearly impossible for a person to spend time learning to find every bingo and star play while also solving all the strategic nuances of Scrabble. BestBot is not perfect, and it still does make mistakes. While its one-in-the-bag endgame is unassailable, its pre-endgame can still make errors that even human players would never make. It can also be outplayed in certain situations where humans can use inference to find a better plan of attack. While BestBot is more consistent than any human, it can still make the occasional mistake.
Best improvement I think we can get is from machine learning. I've been talking to some people in the computer Go community. They give me some ideas for how to program machine learning into a condo.
At this point, it seems clear that BestBot is soundly better than everyone it's faced. There's only one player who maybe can stop the AI menace, and once it reaches its final form, it seems like we will most likely be reaching a world where AI has truly taken over Scrabble.
Like my hope is that we can get something that can beat Nigel Richards, for example, like convincingly. And I know it sounds hard, but I think it's possible. Yeah, we want something that can just be the best engine out there. And I think give us a few more months or years, and we'll get there.